Alright, how you doing? Brian from Garage Mahal. Today, I'm actually working on my truck. It's a 2016 Nissan Frontier Crew cab, and I'm going to do an oil change. But most importantly, I got a new camera that I'm trying out. It's mounted to the side of my head versus on top. So I want to see if it's going to work out better for some of these car videos. And not only that, is I could put an extended battery pack on it, so I should be able to get a lot more video footage. And right now, alright, so if you've never done the oil on a Nissan Frontier, this is your oil pan right here, so it's super easy to access. I believe it is a 14 millimeter socket that goes on there. Yep. And I haven't changed the oil too many times on this truck because of I really don't have a commute to work, so this is basically kind of like go around town. But anyway, you loosen that nut and then the oil pours out. And while we're working on that, I'm going to jump in and work on the oil filter, because the oil filter is actually behind this front skid plate on the front of your truck. So basically, you remove one, it's a 10 millimeter bolt. And you can tell this is the area where it gets all the gunk and garbage on the truck. So let's open this up. And then on this side, you just got to kind of loosen it a little bit, just so you can kind of get in there. I'll put that there so we don't lose that bolt. And your oil filter is actually, it's right up there. So it's not in the greatest spot. Oops. Make sure we don't. Yeah, a little bit of spillage. Never killed anybody. All right. So you can kind of get your hand up in there to turn it, but I like putting a little bit of a socket on it. I think this is the 902. Kind of get in there. And then we'll put a little bit of a wrench so you can loosen that up pretty good. Just put it on there. The end. I know it's kind of hard to see in there. Okay, just a couple quick turns. That's loose. Turn it by hand to get it ready. I'll just wait a couple more seconds. Let a little bit more of that oil drain out. In the meantime, I like to take a look underneath the truck to see what's going on with it. So, and can you hear that? The swish of bouncy beats in the tires. So, I'll give you a quick idea. I had undercoated it as well, so that's why you see a little bit of rust, but for the most part, it's all kind of covered up. Put new struts in the back. And this running board is starting to rust out on me, as you can see. And my daughter actually gave me a great idea. She's like, Dad, why don't you you make wood running boards to put underneath? Since I have a whole wood shop, I figured that's actually probably a pretty good idea. And we're going to rotate the tires after the oil is done completely draining out. And this does have 49,000 miles on it, close to 50. So I want to look at the ball joints. Make sure that they're all good. Your CV axles, make sure that's all in good shape. Make sure that, nothing's wet or leaking underneath, even though I have undercoating all over the place. Just gives you kind of like a quick overview of what's going on, in any problem areas. But for the most part, the rust is very minimal. Undercoating does a great job, and I try to do it every spring and the beginning of every winter. But I mean, you got some places that it's starting to rust, but overall, so for a four-year-old, almost 5-year-old truck, that's not bad at all. The exhaust is probably taking the brunt of the weller up here, since there's really not too much you can put on these things. Look at that, a little bit of a static grounding wire broke off, but they always kind of break off at some point. But all right, so I think we're just about done draining there. That will perpetually drip for just about forever. So we're going to put that little nut on there. And as you can tell, I'm already starting to leak out through the oil filter. But we'll fix that pretty quickly here. Let's just make sure I tighten up this. And again, you don't want it He-Man tight, you just want it tight. So there you go. So that's done. That was a 14 millimeter. Now let's get to the front. You can kind of see oil filters are already starting to drip up there. So I'll rest by hand. And you can kind of see how it's going to start dripping. Not exactly the cleanest oil change you can do, but you can take this whole front plate down and get you a lot more clearance in there. But I'm not scared of getting a little dirty. Runs up my arm a little bit, it's okay. All right, let's get the EcoGuard 4610, 4612. They're just basically about the same. So this one's just a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. Let's see how that matches up. So I'll take this little protective coating off, and I like to kind of do one of these jobs, and that puts a nice little coat on that filter. Get her up in there. Oops. Flip it around. It's kind of hard to see, but you feel it once you start getting in there, turning. Now you want to get it hand tight, and then you want to crank it a little bit more than hand tight. Let's get a good grip on it. And that's why I like still using the oil filter wrench, so I can get up there and just give it another quick turn. Ideally, you want that to be about 15 pounds, the torque on that. And how you measure that is with a torque wrench. And I put my torque wrench somewhere. We'll just keep this on there. Got that on there nice and tight. Okay. All right, so that's it. That's my handy dandy oil filter set. Alright, so we'll let this drain out. And that was a little messy, so let's clean that up real quick. Okay. Now next, we're going to rotate these tires for optimal tire wear. And we'll bring that down to probably about here, I think. Because you want to make it so you can lift it off the ground and get it right and level with you. And let's see what size socket that takes. 21, I think. Yep, that's a 21. Here's our handy dandy air wrench. Just give it some oil, a little bit of love. I think that should probably be enough. All right, so on this vehicle, we're going to rotate front to back instead of crisscross. Some people like crisscross. I particularly don't approve of that, but all right. Put that over there. Drop this tire down. And you want to look at the wear pattern. I put these tires on not too long ago, so they're in good shape. Actually, the last oil change, so about 5,000 miles ago. We'll put that in there. Oops, dropped the lug. Alright. Try not to ride over my air wrench. Alright. Okay, here we go. Now I'll put this one back there. We'll do a quick brake inspection. So those pads are really good. I put custom racing brakes on here just because I want more stopping power rather than racing, but okay, so we'll get at least one lug in. Now you see how these are kind of like shallow. Trying to get your fingers in there. It's kind of tight. However, what I do is I grab another socket. That's your 21. This trick. All right, so we'll tighten that up with a wrench in a second. Let's go around front. this front tire back on. And brake inspection. I can kind of look in there. We're good. And again, I had done these brakes not too long ago, so they better be good. But when I got the tires off, it is a good time to check. See how much easier that goes, putting those lugs on. For anything else, if you know how to do an oil change, that's great, but sometimes it's always good to get a couple tips and tricks on how to better do stuff. Use different tools, techniques. Alternate them. Always give it one little torque at the end. And then of course I'll check it by hand just to make sure we didn't miss anything. Alright, turn it back to low. Oops, I'll grab that. Not having fun unless you're losing a lug nut. So it's a new front tire. Let's go grab that wandering lug. Okay. Good. All right, let's tighten this up. come on. There we go. Oops. That one did not make good contact. All right, there we go. All right. So we'll keep this out because we're going to torque it a little bit later on. Get right down to size. And now we're done with the impact wrench. We are actually going to get this up to pressure. I like to put in 38. And these are pretty low, look at that. Alright. That's also another super cause of tire wear people don't realize. Low air pressure in your tires. So, bring these up to pressure. Actually, I'm surprised my tire pressure alert system didn't go off. So I think it's supposed to, when they get below 32, they're right at 32, I guess. So it's not too bad. Always check your fuel line while you're under here. Make sure that's good. Alright, there we go. Everybody's up to pressure. Put that on. Disconnect this. Now we can lower down, put some oil in it. Oh, you know what I forgot? And you forgot to remind me. Close your little magic trap door down here. Not that I like to cheat, but I don't like squatting down. Put this. Alright. I'll just give that one little quick turn. Okay, we're good to go. That was your 10 millimeter. universal. All right. I didn't realize how cold it was getting here. You see my breath's pretty good. All right, let's go underneath the hood, put some oil in it, and we'll top all our fluids off if they need to be topped off. Actually, I wonder how that looks on camera with my breath going. Which I thought it was 49. I got that other new heater in here to kind of help top off everything, but all right. That's our little hood prop. And you always want to clean these out because they will block your drainage. If you ever smell something funky in your engine compartment and wonder what it is, it's probably to build up leaves rotting in your drainage system. So, not to mention they hold moisture and can cause rust. Most of them out anyway. Alright, so that's my oil fill cap is right there. And this takes 530 full synthetic. So I like using Cam 2 stuff, but Mobile 1 if I'm out and about over at Walmart or something. And Amazon started carrying a decent oil. Anyway, this is the 4.0 V6 engine. And it takes 6 quarts. I think I put 5 in and I check it. See where the level's at. Alright, well, let's let that one drain out real good. Let's get a real good look on the master cylinder. So I like putting a flashlight so you can kind of see the level. That's a weak flashlight. I need something just a little bit more juice in it. Let's get this. So put a light, you can see you got your min and your max. So we're towards the max, so we're going to leave that. That's fine. Just change the air filter, last oil change, so we should be good there. I always look for battery terminals, see if there's any corrosion, and I like giving them a quick hit of WD. I'll just help with some of the alright, let's grab another thing of oil. Hi Cynthia. I'll edit you out maybe. And then that's your radiator. So this has an overspill, which is over here. So I'll take a quick look in there, see how that's doing. So you can kind of see it on the side. So I mean, it's not. It's at the minimum level. So I think we're good there. I don't want to overfill that, that's for sure. Okay. And we're going to see if we got any fluid laying around for the windshield washer. And then this is your power steering, which, look at your cold level. You got your cold max, that's your hot, so we're good right where we're supposed to be. So that's good. Alright, 2 more and then we'll check the fluid level. The since we're up here, we're going to look for any leaks or anything that's out of the ordinary. And everything looks pretty good. It's a little bit of oil buildup on there, but that's nothing to worry about. So belt looks a little worn. We're going to order one, and we'll probably replace that pretty soon. Usually, rule of thumb, your serpentine belt you want to replace when you put new tires on your car or truck, because that is a rubber component, and like your tires, it wears. So think about that. So every time you replace your tires, replace your serpentine belt. Your truck will appreciate you, or your car. All right, last one, then we'll do a oil level test. And this dipstick is right there. Terrible spot for a dipstick. I mean, it's not super hard to get to, but you'll see when I'm trying to go back in, it's a little difficult to get to. All right, so it's got the venerable dots, show you where your oil level should be. And this always tests your nerves. Okay, so we wipe that off. Okay, so we got that 5th quart in there. And actually, I think last oil change I put 5. But when I was getting oil for this, they're like, hey, you take 6 quarts. But see, right there, I mean, it's full. It's at the level where it's supposed to be. So that's on the high side. I think one more is going to make it too much. But then again, you got that your oil filter is going to hold a little bit of oil on it. So let's get another reading on this and see if my guy at the parts store was correct. So no, I mean that's right there. Hopefully this new little camera can pick that up, but you're right on the high side. So I think we're gonna keep it at that level. Man, see how difficult that is trying to get that in there. Okay. So I think we're good. Alright, that oil's in there. That's drained out pretty much completely. There we go. Get you on relatively tight. Alright, so that's everything that we look for under the hood. And I think we're good to go there. Now, last but not least, we are going to torque out all our lug nuts. And what I do is I usually have this set as default at like 90 pounds. But you want to obviously push a little bit beyond that. And I'm going to put a little bit of an extension on this, because you see how close I was getting, right? Alright. So, okay, I think we're good. I'll go back over here. Skip that one on purpose. See if you guys are paying attention. All right. Almost done. All right, so we're done there. All right, getting ready to pull it out, but first we are going to fill out smoking hands. Next service due is going to be $55,000, or probably $421. And the mileage I do, I'm not going to get to that for probably about 6 months or something. Okay, we'll take that out. Put our new sticker. Even though I'm pretty sure I'm going to remember, especially on my truck. But these oil things are great, but when your hands are sweaty, they're tough to get off. All right. So put that there. I don't think I have my keys on me. All right, let's go get our keys. We'll swap this truck out for another car. And again, dead batteries. All right, anyway, that is your quick and easy Nissan 2016 Nissan Frontier. That's what it is. But anyway, that's your oil change, your tire rotation, tire pressure, checking all your vital fluids in there. So this truck is good for another 5,000 miles. All right, thanks for watching. Brian from Garage Mahal. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Be safe out there.